Welcome. Good to be here.
Welcome. So good to be
Hi.
here. Hello, hello. Hi, Colin and Carol.
Hi,
Um,
Christal.
for those of you tuning in, my name is Christal, and I am part of the team here at Whole Human Coaching, and we're just really excited to have you join us. If you're joining us live, or if you're going to be watching this recording later, we're going to have a quick conversation about today. As we grow this and as we continue, we're going to be having some interesting conversations, and it's about things that we are learning and hearing from our clients and in the work that we're doing. And at Whole Human Coaching, we are really focused on the whole human, how you show up at work, how you show up at life, and really about how you can continue to become that person that you know you're capable of being. So today we really want to just focus on something that we are hearing a lot and that is out there in everybody seems to be talking about it lately. And it's about the idea of the grind. And not just about the grind, but about almost like the complete paradox, or about how the grind and purpose can actually, rather than helping to advance one advance the other, they can actually become in opposition, and they can create a lot of dissension inside of us. And so we really would love to be able to talk today. And one of the things as we focus on our clients and what's coming up, I would love to hear from you, Carol, about what your thoughts are about the grind and about what you're seeing where in people's pursuit of finding joy in what they're doing.
It's something I've been noticing for a lot of years, but I think that it's gotten a lot more exaggerated lately. When you think of that image of the grind, of something that is gritting one side to another, so many people are hitting Sunday evening and they're just dreading what's going to happen on Monday morning. And they think of it as, I've heard it described as the Sunday scaries, that you look at your week ahead and you just can't imagine how you're going to get to Friday. And every day is like putting yourself in a pepper mill and just grinding more of yourself off. So there's really nothing but dust left by Friday. So there's no balance. There's no opportunity to be finding anything of appreciation in your home life. And every day when you get up, it's just like, I can't do this anymore. People are looking for the exit door all the time.
What are some of the words that you're hearing people use, like some of the phrases that you're hearing people use when they talk about it?
I have to leave. I can't do this anymore. I am burned out. I can't, I hit the snooze button 16 times. People are realizing that their energy is just not being nourished by what they're doing every day.
I think the problem is too that we don't realize it until it's too late, right?
Yes.
Until it's
Yeah.
like you walk in, you throw your stuff on the desk and you say you quit. So I think what we're trying to do maybe is get you before you get to that intersection, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, yes.
life and work does not have to be this way,
Right.
to get you to that point.
And I think you're absolutely right, Colin. The sooner we can recognize what the signs are of what's going on, the sooner we have an opportunity to step in. And I know as coaches, what we often do is we get people at the very end of their ropes and they're barely hanging on.
Yeah.
But the whole idea is, if as individuals, we begin to recognize, oh, this isn't as much fun as it was. And I'm not as caring as I used to be at work. And those people that I used to really look forward to seeing, I'm kind of dreading today. So, but what we need to do is see those signs much sooner, because then there's something we can do to turn it around.
Yeah. It's interesting because in our conversations previously, when we've been talking about those signs and about recognizing what are some of those things, I know for myself, I come from a background of social change and social entrepreneurship and the nonprofit world. And in that world, it can feel the passion for what you do. Your mission is so strong. Your conviction is so pure and strong when you start. that it can often overtake everything else. And then there's this interesting thing that happens, and it's no one thing. It just somehow the thread starts to wind around you, where you just become so closely, it is the potential is to become so closely identified with the mission of the organization that you're working with, that the idea of letting off is, or setting boundaries or anything is somehow feels like it is a betrayal to the mission that you're there, and it's somehow letting yourself down, letting the organization down, letting go of your constituents, your stakeholders, and what you're doing. So I'm really curious, what are your thoughts, either of you, around some of the things that you see as the warning signs of when hopefully it's not reached critical mass yet, but what are some of the warning signs that you would say this is a red flag that we need to be raising?
Or even, Colin, what's the pink flag? What do you see before the red flag?
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, you see, you see a lot of people that are having trouble breathing, that are having trouble managing their time, that there's too many things on their to-do list. Then they begin to feel beat themselves up even a little bit about it. So it's imposter syndrome. I'm not doing enough. I need to do more. Just a lot of self-limiting beliefs, I think, that begin to play on loop over and over again. And then then it starts to become obvious later on, right? When the body begins to say no, and the stress slows you down, or you have to take a medical leave. And a lot of people that I speak to, I think that all of us speak to, don't listen to their bodies, don't listen to the messaging, don't listen to the insomnia, to I think the symptoms are so there's so many, but we don't listen to them, right? You ignore them. You put it aside. You're like, I can push my body more. I can push myself more. I can push, and then the body will say no for you and stop you in your tracks, right? With disease or a medical leave and things like that. So,
you know how you're describing it. It's like we have a social contract with the people that we work for. And that is an understanding that from 9 to 5 that they own us, and that we don't have a life except for outside of it. And if we put everything that we have into it, then we don't have a life because we have no energy. So there's this terrible duality always of feeling disloyal if you're taking time off, or you're letting your colleagues down, or you have not fulfilled what your boss wanted you to get done by Friday. So there's a constant pressure of it. But I'm interested, Christal, as you said, you come from that world.
Yeah.
What has you lit up? What is the balancing factor for you?
Yeah, that's so interesting. Because coming from that world, and I like that you call it a pink flag, because the pink flags were waving wildly for quite a while, but I just didn't, you just don't, you think I'm not that weak. Honestly, those are the things we tell ourselves, right? I'm not a quitter. I didn't come this far to let go of something. So finding the balance in that for me was, the first time I went through it, was actually letting go. I actually had to step out of the actual organization. It was an organization that I started, and it was no longer, there was no longer any healthy balance for me. And there was emotional things that were happening inside of me. It was, I was finding it really easy. Colin, there was words that, that you pointed out, things like, imposter syndrome. I think that when but also beyond that, when you're in that situation, you also can feel, it's very easy to feel resentful. It's easy to somehow if you are someone that's in, that other people are answering to, when you're feeling overwhelmed, this is the crazy thing. You lose your ability to be able to delegate properly, because you tell yourself, that the whole, Daniel Kahneman, Thinking Fast and Slow. He says there's a presumption that we make, even if it's a perceived risk of something, we outweigh the risks as opposed to the actual benefits. So, and delegation could be one of those things. When we're feeling so overwhelmed, we can give more credence and assume that people are not going to be able to step up to it. So we don't bother delegating when we're when we're feeling that overwhelmed and we're feeling burnt out, because we just think, you know what, it's just one more thing that's going to suck my time. I'm just going to keep on doing it because no one's going to, and we start to loop. There's that loop, Colin, you talked about that loop. There's that loop that just starts to continue in our heads.
Yeah.
So for me personally, it was really starting to just, first of all, like any habit or addiction, admitting it was the first step forward, and being honest with myself. And we can be honest with everybody else, but it's just so easy to lie to ourselves about where we are.
Yes. Very good point.
All day long.
So when so I heard there were two opportunities. The first time was an actual break. You had to leave the organization. What did you learn from that prepared you better in your social enterprise business?
So many things. The biggest one was that I was not the equivalent of what I was doing. And that's something that it's like that's kind of like something that everybody would be like, oh yeah, we've just nod our heads and be like, of course. But when you are so in love with the mission and the possibilities of what you're doing, which is often, or you feel a strong sense of urgency around what you're looking to accomplish or what your organization is doing. When you are in that place, you can so closely identify with the organization that separating yourself is like, everything from social circles, like in complete honesty, everything from social circles to how you spend your downtime to interests. I actually found that I had the opportunity to rebuild connections and to build new connections with people that were outside of that. And I had come to realize that there was this whole area of interest that I had suppressed because I was just so time starved and so focused on making sure this, it's a difficult truth to embrace, and recognizing that just started to create a whole new realm of possibility for me, to be honest.
Don't you think one of the symptoms I see a lot of today is the connection of your sense of self and self-worth to that job and that job description, and in your instance, it was your company, but so much I see so much people that it's not their company and they love the mission and so on, but they completely attach their sense of worthiness and self-worth to the performance indicators that they're supposed to, the KPIs and things like that, that they're supposed to adhere to. And I think we need to help unlock that, your sense of self-worth is not, measured by running yourself into the ground for the organization.
Yeah, exactly.
For anything. Yes.
For anything.
So if folks who are listening right now, they hear, oh yeah, I relate to that. I'm grinding every day. What's one piece that helps bring back the joy? What do you hear?
Well, I can
go ahead.
Because I feel like I had such a swoop of joy in so many ways, but one of the pieces for me was actually pushing myself, or allowing myself to build, in particular, relationships outside of that whole whole structure, and in particular, starting to reach out. I got a coach. This is brought to you by the letter C for coaching. I'm just kidding, but I did get a coach, and it was actually through coaching because it was built on the premise that I didn't need answers from outside of myself. I already held those answers.
Mm.
My inner being was already telling me I had reached the limits, but the outer pressures of things, I wasn't confident enough in my decisions to be
Right.
able to say enough is enough.
Right.
So in that particular situation, I needed outside counsel. I needed someone who was not scared to hold that space with me, in complete honesty, that was not scared to hold that space with me, and that was not attached to the outcome of the
Mhm.
conversation and the
Right.
decisions.
Yeah. So important. Colin, you said own it. What do you mean by that?
I forget did I say own it? I didn't, I don't
I thought
remember,
you did.
but it's connected to what Christal is saying. And I think for me, it's about, um, uh, becoming, healthily selfish, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, putting yourself at the center of you, right? I think so often, you can get burnt out, and you can
Yeah.
feel the grind every day and all of its
Mm.
repercussions, because you're not putting yourself at the center of you, right? You
Mm.
somehow get lost. You
Wow.
somehow get lost by doing and working and living and being for
Mhm.
others,
Yes.
right? And in the process, you diminish your power, you diminish your strength, you diminish your creativity, you diminish everything,
You
right?
do.
Your light gets diminished if you are not allowing yourself to be at the center of things, and
Right.
honoring who you are, and honoring your purpose and the reason you're here at this intersection of space and time. And I think Christal said it well once: we're not here just to get by, right?
No.
But
No, that's so important.
but it requires that, me first,
Right.
oxygen mask here, and then
Mhm.
I can work with the rest.
I know we don't have much more time today, but I wondered,
Mhm.
that looks like a wonderful topic to bring up and to invite some conversation about,
Sure.
is this idea of selfish. Because that's the other, like, when we look at the grind, the aspect of it is, oh, if I'm not gonna do that, I'm being totally selfish. If I don't go into
Right.
work today, if I don't make that deadline,
Right.
if I say I need to go first, I'm totally being selfish. And what I'm hearing
Yeah.
is quite revolutionary, Colin, in that you're saying is that's the only way
Yeah, I
out of
think
it.
It
so.
is the only way. You can't give of something, it's like when if I give you something as a gift and I say it's from me, but
Mhm.
I didn't go out and get it. I had nothing to do with it. That's not really truly from me. So I can't
Yeah.
give something to someone else. I can't lead other people if I myself am not able to give from the overflow of something that I have, right? And that's, I think a big indicator is if you even feel like you're, ask yourself, am I actually feeling like my ability to be generous is being strained right now? Like, that
Right.
to me is a big indicator, because when you feel at peace, when things are in alignment in you, and there's a healthy tension, we'll call it, without making
Mhm.
a capital T tension, then there's also a sense of generosity that you can flow as well. Like, you're not living in a constant state of lack, and,
Oh,
like what you said, Carol, like duality, where there's just like opposing things inside. So those are indicators, I think, for us, and healthy watermarks for us to keep an eye on inside of
mhm.
ourselves, to ask, if I feel that, if I feel like, because if I feel like I am actually being taken care of, then
Mhm.
I'm able to get out of survival mode. But if I don't
So
feel like that, I stay in survival mode.
so I have a question for both of you.
Mhm, mhm.
What will you do today to be selfish for
Mm.
yourself?
Ooh, that's such a great question.
I am going to, cut, out of work early, and it's a beautiful autumn day here in Nova Scotia, and I'm gonna get outside and rake leaves and play with the dogs, and, yeah,
I hear
you
your
know?
dogs want you now.
Some Sorry about that. I didn't think you
That's
could hear
okay.
that, but, um,
Crystal, what about you?
yeah.
I am actually cutting out slightly early as well, and I'm going to a happy hour with the girlfriend.
Oh, sweet.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I am
Yeah.
gonna walk to a yoga class in the
Nice.
middle of the day
Amazing.
and say that is my
Yep.
time.
Good for
Mhm.
you.
Yeah.
Well done,
Yeah.
everyone.
That's great.
Great convo, you guys. Lovely.
Thank
So
you.
next
What a great convo.
edition 2 is going to be about selfishness. Let's
I
do
think
it.
that's a great topic.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Invite us to do that.
Thank you. And if you've stuck around this long and you've been listening, thanks. We're so glad that you're here. And we look forward to continued conversations. You can find all of us over at wholehumancoaching.com. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.